Hi, I'm Reeth Bhatia. I am an AS level student studying media studies at CP Goenka International School currently. And I wanted to make my CCR regarding my short film through a routine which not every student might be used to, but I love giving myself that comfort little time that I have. And I usually give that at night after I feel like everyone's asleep, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because that's when I have my own space without any distractions or anything else to worry about. And I just love this time to cook, eat my comfort food, watch my favorite shows, complete my assignments like I'm doing now, and also just be myself. So for today, I'm gonna make my top one comfort food, which is bulldog and momos. So now bulldog is a very famous ramen brand. I'm sure everyone knows about it, but it's always been my comfort food even before it went viral. That it was something that I always used to love. And yeah, I'm also gonna make momos along with it because trust me, it's the best combination ever. Okay, so I'm gonna start prepping my food while I answer four important questions about my film. So the first question is, how exactly did my film use or challenge conventions, and also how it represents people? So now I want to firstly talk about the genre of the film and why I chose it. I chose a psychological thriller because I thought I forgot to turn the gas on. Okay. I chose a psychological thriller film because for me being a teenager, I have always loved psychological films. It's always been something that's really intriguing to me and something that would make me want to watch it more, wait for a second part or convince myself that oh they're gonna make a series on it and I can just binge on it. But with that, I really wanted to connect with the audience and give them what they want instead of making something that I would like to project myself, but the audience wouldn't connect with. It wouldn't make sense. I just want to talk about like how in the conventional ways also I try to make my film really simple but also have that you know cliffhanger in the end. Now, conventions that I challenged, I would say, would be shooting with only one character, shooting under 2 minutes, shooting in one location that to a closed house, and leaving an open ending. Now, an open ending would allow me to leave it to the audience to what they want to think the ending is. In my case, they could either think that he cut the call in the hope to break the loop, or maybe he could he might not even know that he was stuck in this loop while he was picking up the call the second time. He just cut it because he was really sleepy. And the third point of view could be that he simply just repeats that loop, but there's some another voice in his head telling him that no, don't pick up this call, but that voice is unheard by us. There could be a million ways, a million perspective of the audience to think, and that's what I wanted to do. Let it be an open ending because under 1.5 minutes, if I showed a ending in such a small time, it would still feel incomplete. It would feel like a horror film started and just ended. This gives, you know, it could even give a hope to the audience for the second part or a second conclusion or anything, more views, of course, like I said. So, coming to my third question, hot, hot, very hot. Okay, coming to my second question, um, how my film engages with the audience and how I would like to distribute it. So now, when it comes to connecting with the audience, like I said, I want to be able to give the audience what they want. Now, I had a very targeted audience and I wanted a younger audience to be reached. So, like I said, I used a 19-year-old boy to attract that particular audience. Now, hold up, let me get something. This is too hot. One second. So, like I was saying, okay, so this is done by this. So this is cooked. I just need to make it in my way with the sauce and the cheese. I'm not sure this is overcooked. Great, but it's fine. So as I was saying, I would really like to make another film in the same genre because I feel like when it comes to thriller, you aren't limited in any way. You can have so many creative ideas and so many things, and that's what allows us to reach the audience so greatly that there are so many new ideas in the same genre coming up, and people are actually liking it and people are actually engaging with it. Now, I personally would like to reach my audience since it's a short film through YouTube and mainly Instagram because where I get my inspiration is in my head. But for a lot of people, they get their inspiration going through reels, and that is what I want to do. I want to show the society, the community, the social media community, the right things. I want them to be inspired by the right things and with the right set of creativity. Which is why I would definitely like to make another film and post it on Instagram because I feel like where the best reach is there. Another thing is I want to start being able to participate in short films because I've seen short films like these in festivals by a student would be really appreciated if not awarded, and I would take that appreciation as a reward itself because it would tell me that at least I was able to make it here and I'm worthy enough to make it here. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this up and it's gonna get really red and the spicy smells so much. But anyways, as I was saying, I also wanted to control the way my audience reacted, and I tried to do that by the sticky notes leaving behind to see how their reaction would be, to make that sudden change from complete silence to a loud phone ringing, especially in the start, as I'm putting the title surface, because that is how I feel like I can grab the audience's attention. I forgot the gas is not turned on. I was wondering why it's not cooking. Okay. So, as I was saying, yeah, I would like to completely say that I want to reach my audience through social media and I want to find new ways to promote filmmakers, especially students who are putting so much confidence behind actually posting these films. And also, I wanted you guys to see the reaction videos of my family, and I want you guys to know how they felt about it because, like I said, when it comes to reaching the audience, I wanted to be able to do it with the younger generation. And my brother, who's from 8th grade, had his own point of view, and the audience that wasn't the targeted audience also liked it, like my parents, and it was a really exciting journey. So yeah, I think you guys should look at the reactions.
Hi, my name is Siddharth, and I'm a software professional. I work for ICICI Group of Companies. I'm here right now to speak something about what I saw last night. I happened to see a small film which was made by Reeth Bhatia, and I want to tell everyone that it was amazing, incredible. What I really saw, a first timer making such a wonderful film, a short film. Everything about that short film was just perfect. The direction, the cinematography, especially the editing, the acting. I think it was a very well done job by Reeth Bhatia. Little bit of what I know about her. I know she wants to pursue something in filmmaking, and this being the start or this being her first project, if it is the first project, I don't know if this is the first project. She's done a wonderful job. So guys, if you all happen to see this video, share, like, encourage her the way I am, because I was really impressed. No jokes about this. And I would like to wish Reeth Bhatia all the very best for many more bigger films and her career in filmmaking.
Hi, I'm Nikita Arora. I work for SVS Production House, and coming from the same industry background, I could understand the hard work and the effort that goes behind making such contents. Honestly, the content is amazing, and it's really giving that realistic um, image and impact of the entire video. So I feel it's done very well, especially the editing, the screenplay, the direction is amazing, and it's a good job done.
Hi everyone, I'm Viraj Devan and I'm from grade 8. Everything what I can say about the movie was it was absolutely amazing. I mean, those were really the most intense 2 minutes, but but in those 2 minutes, how a person could manage to get so much thrill while people can't even get them in 2 hour films is just amazing. The plot twist in the end was just like it is just way different and very unexpected. But throughout the movie, there was a lot of suspense, and it was feeling really intense. Thank you.
So now coming to my third question, how my production skills developed. So, oh, like I mentioned in my first question, that I was initially working on a different script, which was a romantic psychological thriller. Again, in the same genre, but a different, completely different script and a completely different ideation. It was outdoors. It was going to be with two characters, with a montage and everything. But then wanted I was not able to, project that idea out because, first of all, it was really hard to get actors on hold at that time because I needed 18, 19 year olds and everyone had their exam seasons on, so no one could help me with that. But apart from that, I think that whatever happened was right because that all hard work for a short film was completely worth it. But the amount of inspiration and creativity I got for this idea was completely different than that. My ramen is still cooking. I don't know how. I think it's just the multitasking that's not working, but whatever. I was saying about how my production skills developed. So, of course, this was my first time shooting a film, even though I'm extremely passionate about filmmaking. It's something I want to pursue, but I got so much better with my camera because I do photography already and I am pretty good at it. I have done it for a long time now. It's been 2 years and I do it for my own passion, but considering my parents and what my friends have seen, they've really seemed to like my photography. So that is something that helped me be more used to with the camera. So I wasn't that nervous with the camera or anything. And I already had my Sony ZV-E10 and I had my Sigma 16mm lens, which is a wide angle lens, so it worked out perfectly for me for all scenes. Now, learning all this was a process because when it came to sound, it's not something I'm very used to. Now, I used a software for the music production and I just added a lot of different YouTube samples that I found, and it just helped me learn with the process, color grading. And obviously I have not edited before. This is the first film I'm editing, and color grading, even trying to find how to add subtitles was not easy. I had to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, but I'm glad I had to go through this process because it taught me a lot. Let me check on this. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I need to start grating the cheese, by the way, because I am going to be putting one solid by grating it and one cheese slice. I'm gonna turn this off for 2 minutes because it's boiling. But I'm just gonna finish off this question by saying that I'm a beginner, I don't know much, but learning this was an amazing journey because it taught me so much that I would not have learned if I didn't take the subject. And learning as a 16-year-old about all this makes me feel that I can really go ahead and do the career that I want. And learning editing, about how mise-en-scene is important in the film, the costumes, the character auditions. Writing the blogs helped me so much because initially when my teacher told me that we have to write 50 blogs, I was like, oh my god, I cannot do this. But as I started writing it, it helped me keep track of my own journey and made me feel so good to look at those blogs afterwards. So it was quite a journey, but I improved my skills. I learned a lot of skills, and I want to be able to project these skills going ahead. And I want to make better and bigger films using these skills, and obviously learning more, not just these skills. So I have to grate this cheese, put this cheese slice in, melt it, and make it the way I like, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I added a little more water and my first slice of cheese. I'm gonna add this extra hot sauce because it's from the same brand bulldog, and I absolutely love it. It makes it so much spicier, and I love spicy, and I love cheesy. So time for the fourth question, and perfect timing because my momos and my bulldog is done. I just need to add the cheese on top. Now I want to answer the fourth question, which is how I use technology in my project. So for filming, as I said, I use the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, which is typically a vlogging camera, but I think it's really beginner friendly and it's something I really like and I'm really used to. I use the Sigma 16mm, which is an amazing lens. I wanted 30mm initially, but the 16mm was a wider lens, so it was better for my photography and cinematography. Now, going ahead with lighting, I used really dim lights with my corridor darkness and all the dark lights, and I used typically yellow dim lights and not bright white tube lights. So I decided to use Adobe Premiere Pro because I'm already familiar with Photoshop for my photography that I've been doing for a year or two. So using Premiere Pro was not that hard, but obviously a few things like color grading and everything that I wasn't so familiar with, I had to take a whole day just to watch YouTube videos and learn about it. And it was a little hard to catch up, but after I understood everything, it felt easier, obviously. Using Premiere Pro helped me, align all my videos perfectly. And my laptop initially could not take the load of it, so I had to switch to a MacBook, which helped a lot. And everything ran by so smoothly. Even in the middle, I thought I almost lost my whole project, but thanks to the software, it had autosave and I didn't. So yeah, I really enjoyed editing on this and learned so much. For sound, I used the FL Studio's free version, not the upgraded one, to create the background music, the dubbed audios that I had to edit. I wanted to remove all the noise out of that. I wanted to make the voiceover call dubbed, and I wanted to make it sound a little eerie in that monstery demonic kind of vibe. And I used YouTube to take all my samples, and yeah, I feel like that's it. And amazing timing because I finished cooking and I have finished yapping. So that's all about my film. I really enjoyed making it, and I really see myself pursuing this because this 1 year helped me learn a lot. Writing blogs, shooting the film, the pre-production, post-production, everything that went behind it made me feel a different level of excitement. So thank you and see you. Before I go, I want to do a little taste test because this looks too good. Hurts every single time.